Hey Lily, so I'm back on here because I want to try vlog style crocheting. I haven't got a hang of the tutorials yet, pretty much at all. So I'm going to switch it up and you guys let me know how you like it. So the next tutorial that is coming is definitely going to be the crochet durag. I did not forget about you guys. Editing, yeah. Gotta edit that. It's a lot, plus I had to make a few durags, so yeah, we're gonna get into that. So right now my mom wants a bandana, and today is June 6th, Thursday, and I'm gonna show you what I do and how much I can crochet this week. So in between like picking up the kids, school, work and stuff like that with the kids, and just, you know, doing home wifely motherly duties, so my mom wanted a yellow durag. She wanted the regular granny square. I wasn't really feeling the regular granny square, and if you don't know what the regular granny square is, it's like this, but it's one color that she wanted yellow. So I went ahead and got the yellow, and she wanted this. She wanted this yellow, and then I went and got this yellow. So this one is bamboo, and then I like gold, so I get stuff like this color. And this, but we're gonna use the two that she picks. She likes this one, so I'm like, why not? And I don't want to do the granny square pattern. This is what I found on YouTube, so this is kind of like what I want to do, and that's what I'm gonna start off with. It's 4:48, and I'm going to watch this tutorial and get started on it. So let's see how long it takes me to do like one of these. I don't know if I didn't say, but I'm working with cotton yarn and a 4.5 millimeter hook. Yeah. And here is when I knew like this may not work out, but let me keep going just in case. And this was my progress before I was like, yeah, nah, not gonna work. This is how far I got. I ended up just going with the regular granny square because this yarn is yarn by what's this by? Sugar and Cream. I'm not a big fan of it, but this yarn is too thick for the other design I wanted to do. So I'm just gonna do the regular granny square like she asked. And I guess I need one more row, and then that will be it. I'm gonna tie it off and keep going. At first I didn't think I would like these colors together, but I think they look nice. Okay, let's get into it. One more row. One square down, two more to go, and it's 7:40. And I decided on making regular granny squares, and I only did one. I did take a break to eat, so yeah, but I'm not mad at it. So I'm gonna work on the other one. I'm going to, instead of it being the dark yellow, it's gonna be a light yellow. dark yellow, like yellow, dark yellow. So yeah. So I did all 3. Now I have to do the half. It's 9 o'clock. Okay, so I got all my triangles and squares, and now we're gonna piece it together.
So I'm going to take this yarn here and I'm going to use that to make a flat slip stitch seam. So that's how I like to seam up my crochet pieces if I'm doing my squares, or for the most part anything that will allow me to use the seam. That's my go-to. And once I finish that, I'm going to make a single crochet border around the triangle, the bandana, and then for the straps I will chain up and then slip stitch right back down the chain for the straps. So yeah. This is the bandana completed, so I'm happy about that. Now I just kind of want to shape it, so I'm going to block it.
2:34 a.m. I'm going to bed. Okay, lovelies. We're missing like 2 days because today is Sunday. Today is Sunday. I didn't crochet Friday or Saturday. I was doing hair. Anybody that knows me and they came from my second channel knows that I do hair for a living. I'm a cosmetologist. But anyways, I was doing hair, and by the time I got home I just didn't feel like doing no crocheting or anything. So I have a few crochet items that I said before that I need to put out, which is Durags, the crochet mesh Durags. So we're about to get into that. I'm going to make my first one for sale, so let's get into it. And I'm gonna film a video. I tried to film a video on this one. This was the very first one I made, but I didn't know what I was doing because I made a little mock-up of it, and yeah, so trying to do it in a bigger form, it just took some adjusting. So the tutorial didn't come out like I thought it would. So now I've completed it. I'm gonna do a few adjustments that the client wants, and we're gonna get into it. Alright, so this was supposed to be a tutorial or whatever, but we have this. We have one more left, so I'm gonna work in here. Already chained one. I keep saying I only have one left to work into, even though I have three, and I'm genuinely confused because I'm only supposed to have 2 stitches left over, but I only made 2 of these durags before making this one, and I made them different each time, so yeah, I'm genuinely confused. You could leave it with this one row and then slip stitch up the side, but I'm gonna do 2 rows of it because that's what he wants. So I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn my work and go in the next one. And just double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, going all the way back down. At this point, I get why I said this is a bootleg tutorial, because my camera kept going in and out of focus. I was really just trying to get the hang of making this durag because I knew I had to make another one for someone else. I'm gonna see if it's wide enough. I may do another row for him. So I just called him. He want one more row. That's what I'm gonna do. So what I like to do, instead of keeping it like this and chaining up, I saw somebody turn it and do like stack single crochets. So pull it through, single crochet, go through this back loop, and single crochet, and then I'm gonna chain 1, and then I'm gonna go across again with my double crochets, chain 1, double crochets, and then I'm gonna start working the body of the durag. So yeah, I hate that it's a factory knot like right there. And it's big and nasty looking. Like, why would they even do that? So I'm about to cut this. And add the yarn how I would normally do if I ran out of yarn. Because that was just so disrespectful. So I just crochet normally. So I'm getting up to the part where it's like no more yarn, and put it here, and then just yarn over like normal and crochet. Now I'm going to put clips right here so I know when to stop my slip stitch. I finished making his strap, which is 3 rows, and I'm going to start the body now. So I basically slip stitched all the way to my stitch markers, and now I'm going to start the body where my stitch marker is. So I done chain back, right, and I have 1 stitch left. I'm not gonna go into this stitch because that's gonna act as my chain one space. I'm gonna go straight into my double crochet. Chain one, double crochet down the rest until you get to this. So I'll be back when I get there. So I'm at the end, and now we're gonna do free floating chain one double crochet. You see? And I'm gonna keep this going. Once you get past this part, it's pretty simple, easy peasy. You can sit back and watch a movie now because for like 5 or 6 rows, you're just going back and forth across, back and forth across. So I'll come back with an update. Okay, so I've done 6 rows so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 rows. So now that I did 6 rows, we're gonna start decreasing. So I have 110 stitches. Usually I try to go for an odd number, but I end up doing it even. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this, right? So I'm going to go half of 110 is 55, right? So when I get to my 53rd stitch, I'll come back. So I'm at my 53rd stitch. So I'm gonna make it. And now I'm gonna chain 1. And now I'm going to decrease. There we go. Chain 1, then decrease again. Chain 1. So me decreasing was me taking these 2 and making it 1 stitch. And then taking these 2 stitches and making it 1 stitch. I chained 1, and I'm gonna crochet down the rest of this row normally. Now for the next row, I'm going to decrease a little differently. I'll show you when I get to that row. Alright, so I soon come up on my 51st stitch. Chain 1, 51. And then I'm gonna chain 1 and I'm gonna decrease. So this was my decrease row already, and this is the double crochet before it. We're gonna decrease those 2. So I thought I was doing something different, but since I have even amount of rows, I don't have to do it that way. I can just continue to decrease and keep the even amount of rows. So yeah. Okay, so I did 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, let's start with the decreasing rows. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 decreasing rows, And now I'm about to close it. So how I close it up is I'm going to yarn over. I really forgot how I joined these two pieces together, and I had no tutorial to go back to and watch because I really just be making shit up. So it's just like, damn, like how did I seam them together before? I forgot. Okay, I was bugging for a second. Alright, so I figured out how I join it because I was bugging and I don't really see a tutorial online on how I join it. So let me just do it for you guys. Okay. And turn. I'm going to go into this stitch and I'm going to go into this stitch while I have it wrapped over. And I'm going to go into the other stitch, corresponding stitch, double crochet. Then I'm going to slip stitch into the chain one space and slip stitch into the double crochet space. And then wrap the yarn over and go into the next double crochet and do a double crochet. Then I'll slip stitch into the chain one space, slip stitch into the double crochet space, yarn over, go into the corresponding double crochet space and do a double crochet. Then I'll slip stitch into the chain one space, slip stitch into the double crochet space, go over to the corresponding double crochet and do a double crochet. And I'll continue to do this and work my way down. So it'll look like this. So I close it up with a half double crochet and we're going to cut my yarn. I close it off with a half double crochet instead of a double crochet like I've been doing up that row because I don't want it to look pointy. I want it to give that nice like curved edge like a do-rag gives. So now I'm going to, he wants a satin lining in it. Ooh, I got these to be the satin lining to go in it. So yeah, let's get it. So I'm gonna put the durag on my head so I can see where it's gonna stop at the bottom. So he likes his durag damn near touching the eyebrows. So yeah, I'm gonna do that and then turn around. And I want it a little bit below my nape because men's hairline like down here. And then I put a thing in there so I could see. And this is where I'm going to stop the brown back here. So I'm basically going to copy the shape and I'll do it like in a diagonal. So when it's on his head, this part is gonna be brown all the way into here, stopping here, and then he's still able to wrap it how he wanna wrap it. Anyways, yeah. So to give y'all an idea of how it will look, it'll basically look like this, but just with brown. Oh, I've been finished this durag and I never showed the time. Hold up, wait a minute. So I finished it probably like 9:48 or something like that. That's crazy. I should have showed the time. I am disappointed in myself. So I finished it at 9:50. Let's just say I finished it at 9:50 because I can't remember. But anyways, I did this durag on and off. So I guess you could say it takes a day to make. Plus I have problems with my wrist, so I cannot crochet literally all day. I have to take multiple breaks in between, but it could definitely get done in a day. So tomorrow I will be doing the lining part, which I'll be cutting it on the bias so that it can stretch. And y'all, I can't wait because I never did this before, so I'm excited. Yay me. Okay, so I blocked the bandana the best I can. Pins or mat or anything to block it with, so it's wet, and I just stretched it out the way I wanted to, and I did the same for the top. So let's see how they dry in the morning. So I had one more durag to make and ship out, so I was like, this is perfect opportunity to make a tutorial because I know someone's asking, and this is the tutorial that I actually use, the method that I use when I make people's durags for their orders. And I thought this was like a really great tutorial, one of the best that I made. I also gave alternative methods, and somehow some way it still confused people, so I was like, dang. Hey lovelies, so it's Wednesday, 11:43. I just woke up, so I'm going to try to get a few more rows done. Today is a busy day for me, but I'm gonna try to get this durag knocked out before the day is over, and I'm gonna finish the blue one. So my week is almost up and it's been busy. I can't say I've been crocheting throughout the whole week, but I'm gonna knock a few rows out before I gotta get ready to take my mom all over the place, because on Wednesdays I'm her chauffeur. So yeah. So here's the thing, it fits me well on my head, but I have a really small head, so I'm taking it all out and doing another row. So that's what I'm gonna be doing right now, and I hope for the best. So yeah, it's kind of hard to do these durags. Number one, I know it should fit the person's head because it's yarn and it's acrylic yarn, so it's gonna stretch. It's definitely gonna stretch over whoever's head, even if I leave it at the side. But I personally know how to work it and put it on and do it. The person that I give it to, I'm not sure, so I just want to make sure that it's going to fit. I don't want it to be too big, but I also don't want it to be too small. So I'm just gonna add another row, see how it goes, and come back. With it all said and done, I have 6 rows of no decreases and 6 rows of decreases. And right here I'm making a durag template because I plan on making more durags, not just for a lining. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut it on the bias. Now I'm cutting it on the bias because the bias is where you'll get a little bit of stretch, and this satin fabric does not stretch, so it's important to get a satin fabric that stretch. And then another thing about this fabric is it was too thick to be a lining, but this was the color that he wanted and I thought it would work out well. It works out decent, it's just not the best. Okay, so I've made it to this point. He wants lining in his durag, so you know what he wants, I'm going to try to deliver. And now I got to the point where you saw I did the whole cutting, outlining, whatever. I just didn't tell how I sewed it up, which is very simple. I used the serger stitch and sewed it up, okay? As you can see, the serger stitch is along the edges too, and yeah, so it's inside out. The serger stitch is on the inside, and that's basically like how it's constructed. All right, cool. So we got that out of the way. Now it's time to sew this bad boy. And I don't know how I'm gonna sew this. Like, I don't know if I should sew it by machine. Like, so he told me he gonna wear it here down on his eyebrows, like how they wear regular Durags. Bring it down to my eyebrows. Thanks. And then, you know, he gonna do all of that, right? Cool, I got it. It does it. It works, you know? It works. Now, it's just how do I sew it so it don't lose its stretch, you know? Like, so that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. And, yeah, I can sew it on my machine, but if I use my machine and sew it, then if it doesn't fit right or it doesn't have enough stretch or whatever the case may be, then it's going to be harder to take those stitches out. So I don't know what to do. I'm going to hand sew it, and I'm going to look up. I don't hand sew basically at all, too much at all. Like, the only time I really hand sew is like for crochet projects, because all my crochet pins, my granny square pins, have pockets in it, and I hand sew those, but you're never gonna see them. So I don't care how as long as it's in there and it's staying, and they do stay, that's all that matters. But now I have to try to figure out how to do this because it will show. So I want to do this so that it looks neat. So I'm about to go look up how to do hand sewing stitches and see what I can find that's gonna work. I'm thinking a blanket stitch. I've heard of the name and I think I'm saying it right, but yeah, and I heard of it because of crochet, like a blanket stitch. So I'm gonna see if I could do that with this and blue thread. So I'll be back with updates. Another thing you could do for the lining is you can, almost like a hack, you could go to the store, pick up a color durag that you like, and you could just sew that in. That could be your lining as well. So right here, I'm just showing you how I sew the lining onto the durag, but I'm just gonna speed past through this. Like right here, I'm kind of slowing down, trying to show you how I attach it from the beginning, but from this part going forward, I'm gonna speed past because I'm playing more with the thread and trying to get the thread all the way through than I am actually like giving you a great visual. So once my thread is a little shorter, I'm going to be able to show you properly how I'm sewing this on. And not to mention, this is the beginning. Like I'm trying stuff out. Like I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to attach this if it's still stretching and everything. So yeah, I'm kind of like speeding past this part at this point. And then now here, I'm basically showing you how far I got. I did one side. It looks real nice to me in my opinion. And now I'm focused on this side. So I'm slowing down here. As you can see, I even zoomed in so you could see exactly what I'm doing. And I hope you get a gist of how I sew the lining in. I really don't offer the lining because like if I don't do the hack of finding like a durag in the store, I ordered like a whole bunch of satin fabrics, stretch satin fabrics, and they're all so thick now. So I haven't found a satin that I'm actually like happy with to offer a lined durag. But if people don't have a particular color in mind or a color that I could find in the beauty supply store, then I don't mind doing the hack that I just told y'all about, which is getting a durag from the beauty supply store and just sewing that in as the lining. crazy part about it is like I'm watching this and I'm like, oh damn, if I ever have to do a line durag, I don't want it to be this low. Like I want it to be cut off a little bit higher, and he likes it. He likes it. He thinks this is perfectly fine. He was like, oh, for my next durag, I want it to be fully lined. Like he wants the satin lining to go all the way down to the bottom. So I think that's dope, but to each his own. And then here I'm cutting out my little cards, pre-made cards that I made, and this is a video of what the gold durag looked like, and I just showed it to him before I shipped it out. And these are my tags, and I'm so happy how both of them came out. I think they came out looking so great, and I'm packaging it up right here so I could go ahead and ship one out and drop one off. And this is basically like the process that I go through, my creative process, and see how I work and what I go through. So if you like it, please comment, like, and subscribe if you want to see more of these type of videos. And until next time, lovelies, later.